Hello, welcome to Stephen Speak. Today's episode. I've literally just got out of the shower. I'm sat here, soaking wet, in a towel. There's a good image for you, anyway, to start the episode. Inspiration suddenly hits you sometimes, and I was thinking in the shower while I was showering, obviously, about something me and Sarah were talking about the other day. So I'm going to talk about that. So today's episode is going to be about childhood punishment, and one particular one that my father did to me, which, as an adult, um, was a bloody good one. Welcome to Stephen Speak, the podcast. Unscripted prattle on everything and nothing. Punishment that your parents did to you. I would like to say I was quite a good child. I think I was. But, I did things wrong occasionally. Sometimes pretty bad, actually. I'm not going to lie. Sometimes it was, yeah, I did some thoughtless things. Like when my mum and dad had a brand new kitchen, I thoughtfully cut the inside of one of the drawers with a knife. So I damaged all the inside of the drawer. But I was thoughtful enough that you couldn't see it from the outside. I got punished for that pretty severely. I'm not gonna lie, mum and dad give me a bit of a clip around the ear. It was a time where I think that wasn't really frowned upon, and I think being of that generation, I don't really think it's frowned like that much to, as long as you don't batter your child, um, a little bit of a slap on the arse and stuff every so often. It taught me it's like cause and effect kind of thing. Um, I'm not promoting child violence, by the way. I think, but how my parents did it was quite clever. That they kind of did it out of the respect thing, like to respect them. So when you do something wrong, it's like a disrespect, and I think that was a kind of a clever way to do it because they taught us respect, and then they kind of preyed on that a little bit, and also like normal, you don't get stuff if you don't good. I can't get my words out. Like you basically, if you're not good, you don't receive goodness basically. So, we were gonna go out tomorrow. Even bad, we're not gonna go out, and they would stick to it. They were pretty good at enforcing that, to be honest. And I think that I I just really appreciated that, to be honest. So, um, yeah. How's the sound, by the way? Because I've turned off my de-esser and put a pop filter on instead. I think it sounds better. Let me know. Anyway, yeah. So as I say, I don't think I was. I think I was generally pretty good as a kid. I've got an older brother, so we used to get into fights. So generally, that was what we got told off for. And probably can recount a few times that I was properly bad, deliberately, or just a bit of an arse, as you are sometimes when you're a kid. Um, and got told off for it and punished. There was one particular time, weirdly enough, I actually can't remember what I did to deserve punishment. Um, but looking back in hindsight as an adult, my parents probably could have done loads of things to me, like ground me, not let me go out, you know, take day trips away from me. And I think in this particular time, I was meant to go on like on a school trip, so they could have denied me to go on that to like a museum and stuff, so educational. And I think we were planning some days out, but my mum and dad were pretty good at like planning stuff that was nice and also informative as well. Normally, or we'd go via somewhere that was of interest, or just somewhere to go to educate me, and my brother obviously, and themselves, I suppose. Um, so they didn't really stop me doing stuff. They inhibited me in creativity and things you like to do as a kid, really. And I'll explain now. So in my bedroom as a kid, like I was quite lucky, but I had to work for the things I had. So don't think me spoiled. I spent my own money on these things, and also they were like big Christmas presents, and I had to be super bloody good. Um, So in my bedroom, I had a little bedroom in our house. Weirdly, because I begged my brother for it. I used to have like the medium sized room. My brother, for some reason, was in the smaller room. Don't know how that happened, and I always wanted what he had, so I literally begged him for the small room when I was about 10, probably. So we swapped. What a stupid mistake! Because literally, my room was a single bed. At the end of the bed was a desk, which was literally enough room from the wall to the desk. So I had to sit on the bed to get my legs underneath it, and there was enough room between the desk. It was like a rectangular room. So you walked in through the door, and it was a rectangle with a long end in front of you, long side in front of you. So running left to right, or right to left as you are, because you entered on the right side of the room. Hope I'm painting this picture really well for you. So the bed was in front of you, and there was enough room, like it was like a corridor that ran alongside the bed, and there was a wardrobe on the left hand side, and I had a toy box. So that was literally, it was like you walk into the room, there's a corridor in between the bed, the wardrobe, and a toy box, and at the end of the bed was this desk. So I had a TV, a little black and white TV on the wall, but later on I upgraded to a color television. I think it was my brother's old one or something, or someone gave it to us. Um, well, I had a little MIDI single tape hi-fi system that I got for a birthday or a Christmas present one year, which I contributed money to. So it was a little single cassette CD on the top. It was an Amstrad, so it was probably shit, but and cheap. But I loved it. You know, it was my first CD player. I had a Sega Mega Drive that I'd got for Christmas when I was a bit younger. I had this color TV that I was really pleased of, and it had a built-in video player. It was Ace. So yes, I'm that old that I had cassettes and video players. So shut up. So I had a bit of gear. I was set up. I could sit in color and watch TV or listen to music, and I used to lie away from my desk. But when I wanted to listen to music, I'd lie my head at the desk end and listen on my headphones to music. I used to fall asleep a lot to music. And yeah, it was a pretty cool setup. So you can probably tell what's coming. Um, so I had my Sega Mega Drive, a television, CD player. There was something else as well. I'm trying to think what the other thing was that I had. It was electronic. It's gonna really bug me. Anyway, had these things. So I did something really naughty, and weirdly enough, I can't remember what it was. I'm pretty sure it wasn't the kitchen thing. It was something else. So I was probably about, I want to say 12. I might have been a little bit older. So I had done something. So my dad, when I came in from school one day, I went upstairs and I said to my mum, like, I knew I'd got in trouble. So I was like, kind of keep my head down a little bit. So basically, it was like, I'm going to go to my room and play on my Mega Drive and, you know, ignore them basically, like a budding teen does. So I got to my room, and my mum and dad never said anything. They were like, "Okay, enjoy yourself." So I got to my room. So I flicked the switch on my TV to come on, pressed the button on my Mega Drive. Was it a PlayStation? Did I have a PlayStation by then? I sound like a spoiled little kid, but you know, um, I had to work for these things. Um, I've done an episode about chores. So I had lots of chores, and I had to do stuff. And I didn't really get pocket money, so sod off. Loads of my mates had loads more than me. Um, said the spoiled brat. Yeah. So I was like, I want my TV come on. So the TV didn't come on, and the Mega Drive or PlayStation. I'm not sure. I got rid of the Mega Drive in the loft when we got a PlayStation. I'm pretty sure it was my Mega Drive though. I'm just prattling on as per. Yeah. So they wouldn't turn on basically, and I was thinking, oh my god, my TV's broke. And my initial thought was my dad's gonna go mad. This TV, I've not had it that long, and I've broke it, and he won't get me a new one because my dad was like that. He was like, "You'll have to work for another TV. Basically, you'll have to do chores. We're not made of money." And then I thought, to top it all, my bloody consoles broke as well. So I was like, "Ah, crap." So I kind of just was like, I don't want to say anything. So I used to always listen to music while playing on my Mega Drive. So went to turn on the hi-fi, and that wouldn't come on either. So I was just like, oh my god! So then I thought, well, this is weird that all three things are broken. It's going to really annoy me what the fourth thing was, even if there was a fourth thing. Anyway, so I went, looked down, checked the plugs, and I was like, there was no plugs. There was just like the ends of the cables. Um, so I was like, okay. So I was like, well, I'm gonna have to go and talk to them about this now. So I was kind of like scared and super angry as a kid as well. You get like angry as a kid. You don't know where to direct it, but I knew that it was probably my parents' fault because I thought my brother's not going to do this to me. So went downstairs and kind of my dad was looking kind of smug with himself, as if say, "Have you discovered the problem?" So I walked in the living room and I was trying to do my best puppy dog eyes and was like, just been upstairs, no plugs on anything. Um, and my dad was like, "Yeah, I know, I took them off," and I was like, "Um, what now? You did what?" And he was like, "Took them off. You've been naughty. Me and your mother have been talking. Uh, we don't want to like not send you on these trips and school stuff because you're good at school and you like to learn, and you don't want to stop that. We don't want to not go on these trips because it's punishing us and Gavin as well, which is my brother." So he said, "We're going to do all the normal stuff, but you're going to lose out. So you've not got your console or your TV or your hi-fi, and I can kind of live without the hi-fi, but the whole not having not having music was a killer." And they basically said I couldn't have batteries for my personal stereo as well. So I had to buy my own batteries if I wanted them, which I used to do anyway, but I used to nick my dad's quite a lot, so he hid them. I don't know where, probably somewhere in the garage. Um, and I was like, well, when what do I do? Like, when are you going to put these back on? Kind of thing. I was really confused, and I was like, this has never happened. This is because they weren't even shouting or anything, and they were quite calm. And I think it's looking back as an adult because they hit the jackpot, aren't they? Like, this was a freaking great punishment. There was literally nothing I could do because this wasn't as if I could go and sneakily play on my console or listen to music. Like, it had no plug on it. I couldn't even move it to another room when they weren't in or something. So yeah, like big score for them. So they basically told me that the how I was going to get it back was just by being good and doing chores. And they said that normally you do a chore for us and you get favors. You earn favor and you get pocket money. And they said there's none of that. You won't get anything. When we decide that you've achieved something, you can decide what you get. So you can either have a treat to go out with your friends to the cinema or something, or you can have one of the plugs back. So I was like, okay. So I was really upset. I cried and stuff, because you're only a kid. You think, I'll turn on the waterworks and they'll just take pity on me. And my dad's definitely not. My mum was a bit of a softie, to be fair. She was like super, super, she'd go super, super mental, but she was also quick to give in as well. Whereas my dad took a lot for him to like blow his top. Like, he just needed to look at you as if say, I'm gonna get angry. Don't make me get angry like the Hulk. Like, you won't like me when I'm angry. Just do as you're told, all will be fine. So I kind of went back to my room really bemused, and my brother was a little bit smug as well. But he was also kind of like, I think, petrified that my dad would do the same to him. So yeah, it was really bizarre. I'm thinking now the fourth thing. I think I don't think I had the combined VCR thing at the time. I think it was TV, separate VCR, hi-fi, and console. So um, yeah, I think that's the order it went in. So touche to my father really. And yeah, so I literally just had to knuckle down and be the best son in the world. So I was like offering to wash up. I was literally even letting Gavin off and saying, "Oh, Gavin, you have a break," because we used to take it in turns to wash and wipe. Which never went right because when he got a bit older, he should just go out and I'd do it anyway. So I was literally saying to him, always in front of mum and dad, obviously, saying, I'll wash and wipe tonight, Gavin," and he'd be like, "Yeah, whatever, do it." Like, he'd basically say to me, "You're not getting it back. I'm not doing the favor return. If you wash and wipe, you're not getting this returned. Like, it's your choice," kind of thing. So which I was always all right with, kind of thing. Because I was trying to win these bloody plug sockets back. These plugs, like, um, yeah. So I don't remember how long it took. It as a child, it felt like forever. It took to get these bloody sockets back. Um, it could have been a couple of months, to be honest, maybe even 3 months, but it was so long in my brain. Even looking back now, I can feel the misery. Like, I would go up to my room, and of course, like I used to love coloring and stuff. Oh yeah, my mum confiscated my colors and stuff because she knew I liked drawing. That was like a little sideline punishment that they punished me. Like if I was doing schoolwork and stuff, I could have them. But as soon as I was finished my school, I had to like kind of prove I'd done it, and then they'd take my colours back, which was like mad. Um, yeah, so I'd go up to my bedroom, and like it was done in my like little sanctum, so I could like turn on my console and have a get of a game, listen to music, watch a video of stuff I've recorded, or put on a blank cassette and record something that was on TV. I literally couldn't do any of that, so I would just sit in my room and I would just stare at the walls in this hollow space with my own thoughts, which were quite hollow as well, to be fair. So I had that to dwell upon in between trying to be the best kid I could. And if I asked my mum and dad, have I been good enough? Am I going to get one back? My dad would be like, don't ask because it'll get longer. Like, do not push us. Like, we will tell you when we've decided you can have a treat, basically. Which for a kid's really hard because you think you've been the best, and after a few days as a child, friggin' hell was that? I don't know what fell over then. Anyway, I'd like to get through an episode where something doesn't get knocked over or something. It would be pleasant. Anyway, there's too much crap in this room. That's what it is. I've balanced everything on a pedestal, so it's probably something on a pedestal on a chair. So it's probably something falling off there. Anyway, yeah, but as a kid, like 3 days seems like a long time if you've been like doing your utmost to be the best ever. So it's hard to say. I've been really good, haven't I, Dad? And he'd just look at me as if say, "Don't start. Like, do not ask the question." Um, and sometimes I turn the waterworks on a little bit, and my mum. You could sometimes see my mum being like looking at me dad as if say, "Has it been long enough?" And my dad would be like, "No, it bloody well hasn't." And it really winds me up as to what the point. I feel it wasn't the kitchen thing because I remember them being super furious, but I was quite young when that. I was a bit younger, I'm sure, when that happened. So I really can't remember what I did. It's really bizarre that I can't remember what I did, considering the punishment was so severe, and that there's no association between that terrible punishment and what I actually did. So it's like the consequence doesn't match what I did. Anyway, but yeah, the first plug I awarded, like when they said like, Stephen, you have been really good. We're really pleased. You can have one plug socket back, and your dad will have it. We'll put it on by the time you've got into from school. But we've decided we'll choose which one you can have back. And I was like, well, whatever, don't care. But I hadn't thought it through because there was like 4 devices, and 3 of them kind of work like together, really. So when I got in, my dad had put the plug socket on to the Mega Drive or the console, whichever one it was. And I was just like, I went downstairs and I was kind of furious, and I was like, you put it on the console, and he was like, yeah. And I was like, well, how the bloody hell am I going to use it? Like, and he was like, what do you mean? I was like, well, the TV's not got a plug socket. And he went, need to be carry on being good then, don't you? And you could so tell he wanted to like just be like, touche, dickhead, kind of thing. Like, like, don't mess with me. I'm older and experienced, and this is the best punishment ever. So I carried on being good, and he awarded me with another plug. Again, same thing. I won't tell you what it is. I'm going to reward you. So I was thinking, oh, it's going to be the TV. It's going to be the TV. It was the VCR. Again, requires the television. All good. So I was like, brilliant. And then they rewarded me, and I was terrible. I loved music, and I really, 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 really wanted my CD player back. And I think they were going to give me that as the last one, but they also didn't like me sitting playing on my Mega Drive or my console or whatever it was. So they give me the music thing back first. So they give me my hi-fi back. But I still couldn't play on my console, which was a big thing when you were a kid because you have your mates round, and what do? You play you playing your console, which I'm pretty sure it was the Mega Drive now actually, because I remember having some mates round and really, really wanting to play Micro Machines because they brought it round, and I was like, I haven't got a Mega Drive. Like, my dad put the plug off it. To which they were like, frig, what? So eventually I was good enough, and I did get them all back. And I don't think I ever did anything like as severe again. Like, I think I was pretty good after that because I was like, geez, I don't want that punishment. But you do push it as a kid. You do still go into the realms of like being a twat, don't you? because that's what kids do, unfortunately, because they don't think beyond their own actions. Like, I know I didn't. I was just like, I'm going to do this. Oh, crap, I'm going to get told off now. And that's just what we do. But I just thought, like, looking back as an adult onto what my mum and dad did, I don't know who came up with the idea. I'll have to ask them. But yeah, I just thought that was a great punishment and a great way to make me work for it. And then actually working for it actually wasn't paying off initially, because the way they put the plug sockets back onto the appliances was, well, you still can't use it really. So well done, parents. Well done. I hope you enjoyed that episode. Little bit of a little story from my childhood. I'm pretty sure I haven't told you that before. So if I have, I apologize. Yeah. What sort of punishments did you have inflicted onto you as a kid? And how did you react? Because it was torture for me. Let me know. Visit stevenspeak.com. Go on social medias at stevenspeakpc. And yeah, I'll speak to you soon. You've been listening to Steven Speak the podcast. Thanks for listening to my unscripted prattle on everything and nothing. Visit stevenspeak.com for updates, information, and my blog. You can follow more updates on social media at stevenspeakpc. Thanks very much, and I'll speak to you soon.